do some exercises. Yeah, well,
When you're done talking.
okay, great. Who's all in favor? Who's sleeping yet? Get up and do some exercise.
I want to carry up with me and leave the group.
I'm having drink driving. One of my blood.
You know, one of the things that I'm so fortunate about, when I met Warren, we really hit it off, and consider Mark a good friend. And a lot of my businesses, the people that I work with, I try and I work at building relationships. And I was telling Dawn this morning that one of the things I really enjoy about this group of people is the values that we all seem to have and portray. Mike Yingling back there, every time he speaks, he's just such full of knowledge about what the area is doing and how it's growing. He has such a plethora of information that I just love. William talked last month, I believe, or a month before, about his business and taking out the trash and how he just loves Joe, you know? People who love what they do. It's amazing. Norm spoke about putting in a crosswalk in Lingelstown and how he's concerned about pedestrian traffic. And I hear Dale talk about different things, like last time we talked about the bank and getting in a car. We're trying to win a car. Today he's talking about watching basketball. I mean, it's just a great opportunity. So I can tell you what I do. I do painting and pressure washing. I'm going to sit down, but I think everybody who has a paintbrush can say that they're a painter, right? Probably all have a pressure washer in the garage. But I think what you really need to understand is who I am and who you're going to work with if you decide to work with me. And so I'm the founder and owner of All Decked Out Services. And we do painting and pressure washing. My mission is making the world a more beautiful place where you live and work. Through painting, pressure washing, personal relationships, one project at a time. It's 4 P's. Peter Piper picked it. No, it's painting, pressure washing, personal relationships, and projects. That's what I do. I always I want to start off with a funny story. I got this paintbrush at the Sherwin-Williams store down the road, about 5-6 miles at the Walnut Street store. And who knows what a DIY is? Just shout it out. What's
Do it yourself.
yourself?
Women know what it is.
So this woman goes into Sherwin-Williams store. She goes, you know, I really appreciate excellence, and I need an excellent brush. Can you recommend a brush to me? This wall is covered with brushes. He goes, well, you know, what's the application? What do you want to use it for? Oh, I just want to do an excellent job. I need to paint. Oh, okay, well, and he proceeds to say, well, if you want to paint a baseboard and you're using an oil base, you want to use this particular brush because it holds it, smooths it out, it's really nice. And maybe you want to paint a wall, or you want to trim in the ceiling, so you need something that has a nice edge. And she goes, that's great, I want that brush, it's perfect, it's excellent. Takes the brush home. Next week she comes back with this brush. She goes, I want my money back. Well, you know, Sean, the manager, says, well, what's wrong with the brush? Well, you said it would cut it and do a great job, and it holds paint well, it slops paint everywhere, it doesn't cut a straight line, it skips, it misses. You're the one that said about it once. So anyhow, he goes, that's fine. So, what I'd like to say is that an excellent brush does not make an excellent painter, right? But an excellent painter will use an excellent brush. An excellent painter can use an old raggedy brush to make it look good too, right? That brings me to my next point, is the bus. The busness. The busness. What's that? B-U-S. So in my business, All Decked Out Services, I am the guy in the driver's seat. I'm the bus driver. I got all these seats in the back. I want to make sure I get the right person in the right seat. I want to make sure that I get an excellent painter in that painting seat. I want to make sure I have a craftsman in the seat that needs to be there. And why is that important? Well, when I first got started in business about 25 years ago, I had just finished this job and I was putting a yard sign out, and this BMW drives up next to me, and it's beautiful. And it's a business owner, a local guy. He's still in business today. It's Chris Daniels, joined Daniels Real Estate. And I was a newbie. And he's like, if you want to be successful with your business, there's 4 things you should do. I was all ears. I'm like, tell me, because I don't know anything. I grew up on a farm. I know how to paint, pressure wash, but business-wise, it's kind of lacking. He says, well, number 1, he says, tell a customer what you're going to do. Okay? So number 2, do what you said you're going to do. And I'm thinking, isn't this like common sense stuff? And number 3, he said, communicate with the customer. Let them know if you're running behind, or the weather's delaying you, or things are going well, or maybe something is a little off, but communicate with the customers. And the 4th thing is, and I'm thinking, these are just basic stuff. And so the 4th thing is follow up with your customer. Is your customer happy? Are you satisfied? Are you happy with the job? This is 25 years ago. And those are all pretty basic things, right? But that's what we specialize in. And I call them my core values, 4 core values. Number 1 is reliability. Second one is integrity. The 3rd one is craftsmanship. And the 4th is transparency. So, yes, we do painting, we do pressure washing, but when you have a set of values, when you have a bus with purpose, you have a destination that you want to get to, which I call the excellence. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. You can ask my ex-wife, she would tell you. But I believe that when you have these core values, they're like beacons. They help guide you. My grandfather, his name was Big George, and he was a security guy at the steel mill in Pittsburgh. And he was retired, and we lived in an old 100-year farmhouse, and we were constantly remodeling. And my grandfather would say, you know what, Rick? There's always time to do it right the second. And then today, how many people do it right at all, let alone come back? And Mark will tell you, there's been a couple of times he's like, hey Rick, something happened here, can you come back and fix this? Or it's not quite right, whatever. And I would love to have everything perfectly run smooth. I'm sure all your businesses, everything goes well all the time, you have no problems. But I typically have some issues. But when you have transparency, and you communicate, and you have integrity, and you're reliable, that to me says excellence. So, 2 things. Number 1, you can help me with, and one thing that I can help you with is painting and pressure washing and creating relationships. And I do want to call out one person who's my friend who came today is Paul Andrus. I've known him for over 35 years. He was my original mentor. When you talk about relationships, he's here supporting me today. Typically he's kind of retired and he doesn't normally like to get up early, and he's here. So he speaks a lot, so I appreciate that. So, but what I do is painting, pressure washing, relationships, building one project at a time. But also what you can do for me, not only give me your business, but I am looking for that excellent painter. I'm looking for a crew leader. I'm looking for people that I can scale my business, because I'm in a process right now of scaling my business. I'm not getting any younger, and climbing ladders and being on roofs and all that kind of stuff is something I'm looking to scale back from myself, but I'm looking to scale up my business. So I am offering $1,000. How many ever seen the old Western movies where they have the reward? Want it, dead or alive? But I want them alive, please. I'm looking for someone, if you could refer to me, somebody that I would actually hire, I'm gonna pay a finder's fee of $1,000 cash. And maybe, a lot of you in here don't need money, and you can probably donate it to a good charity, but I find that it's very difficult in this day and age to find good people who have those same values. And I'll close with this, because if I have these values and they're important to me and my business, my people on the same bus have these same values, you can expect those kind of results, excellent results, if you're going to do business with me. So, with that,
I'd like to recommend Dale. He's really a good painter, I think.
yeah,
And he keeps it between the lines.
so that's pretty much it. I'm going to open it up for questions.
The other thing is high point. Yeah, somebody else. Honestly, I want to be the first.
So, any questions? Yes.
Just to be clear, you do interior as well?
That's right. Interior, exterior, painting,
Gazebo.
pressure washing, gazebos. Yep. Work with Mark's gazebo. Even do repair work.
You do screen work?
Yes. Staining decks. Yes, do staining decks. Now, the bad news is I'm so busy right now that you wanted me to do something for you. I won't be able to get to you until June, maybe July. But if you can help me find some good people, I can get to you a little quicker. So you help me, I'll help you. Any other questions? It's a pleasure. I'm so honored to be with this group, these people, being around, and I'm excited about